Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to professional writing. I had to think about it for a moment. Anyways, excuse me. This week, I want to talk about preparing a poster for the Students' Conference. This will be our last final assignment for the course. So I thought better to do it this week. This way it gives you guys enough time to prepare a poster and submit it to me. Probably middle of May, I'm thinking. Deadline will be May 15th, and that way I can get out the feedback the week afterwards, and we can wrap up the course sometime around then. Okay, so I'm just going to go right into my lecture, so sit back and enjoy it. Okay, so when you make a poster, I want you to think of the sections of the poster that are extremely necessary to include. So you're going to always have a summary, okay? So 2 or 3 lines, like your objective, an aim or a goal, or just something very briefly about what the topic is, what the problem is, or what the motivation is. All of that stuff that you know, if you remember the 5 parts of the abstract, the problem statement, the purpose, motivation, okay? The methods, the conclusion, the results, all of those sections need to be included into your poster. Okay, so you're going to sum everything up right at the beginning, go into your introduction, introduce the topic, have the methods, the results, the conclusion, and you're going to have 2 more sections that you won't find in an abstract or in the research paper, but recommendations for future work. Okay, so typically that would be something in a conclusion, but on a poster, it has to be a separate section. Okay, so this is stuff that still needs to be worked on, or things, or if your research is part of a bigger problem and how it fits into the whole scheme of things. And of course, don't forget your acknowledgements, your references, you know, your sources, zdroje, okay, all of that stuff needs to be included in a separate section, okay. Acknowledgements, so you need to thank everybody who helped you, okay. If you received a grant, a Vega grant, something from the Ministry of Education, if you got statistics from somewhere, or anybody that you think is important to thank, write them down and put them in that section. Okay, also something that happens very often is that students forget to write their contact info, okay? So you can put that either in the corner, you can put it somewhere at the top as well. I find it's more effective right in the corner, to be honest with you, okay? So you can put one of these QVR codes where people can scan it with their mobile telephones, okay? Later on, I'm going to show you another way to send out your contact information. All right then. Okay, so let's have a look here. So before you even write anything down on your poster, you need to ask yourself a few things. Okay, what are you trying to achieve? Okay, what is the main goal? Who is attending the conference? I'm just going to put my hand over here. Okay, because these 2 questions, they're going to determine the type of content and the tone of the presentation, okay? So you have to keep in mind who are the people that are going to stop and ask you questions, and or who are the people that are going to be most interested in your poster. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this very quickly. I have another presentation I want to show you a little bit later, which is a little bit better, but this, nevertheless, everything is right here, okay? Be careful with colors, okay? And it says here, use them sparingly, okay? Like sparingly means like to ushetrit, okay? So you don't want too many colors, okay? You just want a few colors, like 2 or 3 different colors, but you don't want to have like a kaleidoscope. You don't want to have something that's psychedelic, okay? I'll show you some examples of this later on, okay? But the colors need to be with taste, focus. So remember, it's easier to read dark, right? Dark text against a light background. That's pozadie. So you have svetle pozadie, okay, and tmavy text. The font types, you should only use one or two, no more than two, okay? Also, it's important to keep in mind that the text should be legible, chitatelny, from 1.5 to 2 meters away. So if I'm standing 2 meters away from the poster, I can still read the text. Okay, I don't need to be, I don't need a microscope to read it. Also, be careful. Don't use capitals. Italics are good. Bold is good. Underlining is good, but never capitals. Capitals are not good because it's like shouting. It's like kričanje. People don't like that. If you use a graph, okay, use different colors to distinguish, okay, odlišit, okay, the riadki, okay, or the bars, the tiče, okay. If it's a kolačovi, what do you call it, a pie chart, kolačovi chart, I guess. Yeah, use different colors to, don't use shades. Don't use like something siva, potom svetla, svetlejša, or tmava, tmavša, and so on. Use different colors, completely different colors, okay? So you want to keep the style always kind of consistent, okay? It has to always be kind of the same. And use smooth arrangement, okay? That's what you want, that's what your aim. So use arrows, okay? Šipki will help you, okay? Also use bullet points. Bullet points are very important. Okay, there are two types of posters. One is a landscape poster, okay? And the other one is called a portrait poster. So a landscape poster has 3 or 4 columns, okay? So you have these stolpi, okay? This helps, the flow go faster. People like reading left to right, and they like reading, top to bottom, of course, okay? So it helps you with, it helps arrange all the elements in the poster. Okay, so you can put all your columns, and then start with your title, your introduction here, leading to your conclusion, okay? Keep your introduction short, okay? Your conclusion also short, all right? Basically 3 to 5 sentences, okay, is enough, okay? And the same thing with your conclusion. Your methods, your results, okay? Everything else, the pictures, graphs, they will fill up the remaining space. Okay, I'm going to show you a few examples. Okay, so you also need to find out the size of the poster. Find out from the conference, because they have different sized panels, okay? Not every conference uses the same panel board. And you want to fill up the whole panel, basically, okay? Or as much of it as possible. So I'm going to show you the portrait format. Portrait format is just 2 columns, okay? So landscape has 3 or 4, and the portrait is usually 2 columns, okay, around 84 centimeters by 119 centimeters, okay? So here's one example of the portrait format, okay? Another example of a portrait format. Okay, both of them look great, actually. You have the light background, dark text, okay? There's only 2 colors, maybe, or maybe even 3, okay? But of course, this is kind of like that pie chart. It's 3 bubbles, okay? But 3 different colors to, to distinguish, to odlišit. Okay, so, yeah, the next 3 slides, I just want to show you very quickly here, okay? So if you look at this arrow, if you want to make your poster in PowerPoint, Of course, you can use, there's other kinds. There's InDesign, there's Adobe, and so on. There are many, many programs to make really good posters. But if you're like me, you're not a graphic designer, and you don't want to spend money on software that you need to pay for, then PowerPoint is also a very good source for creating a poster. It's for free. We have it on our laptops, or most of us have it anyways. So all you need to do is that you go to your home, click the design, okay, and you'll get a window that will pop up over here. So then you go to the slide size and you get this window and click custom slide size. Okay, I don't know what the name of it is in Slovak, but it's exactly the same in the Slovak version and the English version, just different language. Okay, and so once you've done that, it's going to ask you for the size of the poster. Okay, so that's where you're going to plug in that 84.1 over here for the height, okay, and the 118.9 for the width, or maybe it's vice versa. I can't. One or the other, though. Okay, so you put in the size dimensions there. Okay, I want to show you some good examples and some bad examples. Okay. Here's a very nice poster. I really, really like it, okay? The reason why, it's got a great picture. It's got that light background, so the colors are perfect. This poster is not, it's neither the landscape or the portrait, okay? This one's different. So it still reads left to right. It has your introduction, but instead of over here, instead of an objective, it has questions. Okay, so it's asking you, is individual foraging behavior consistent in wild zebra finches? Okay, and so it basically shows you the data and everything. Okay, the only thing that seems to be missing, there is a result and a discussion, although I don't really see a discussion, to be honest with you. Okay, I see two. I see two graphs here, but I don't see an explanation, or I don't even see a discussion. Okay, so that's what's missing there, is a conclusion. I don't also see any acknowledgements. I do see the university logo, which is good. Okay, so that's Macquarie University. Okay. This is maybe the department or the institute. I don't know. It's a little bit too small here. Okay. Also, I do not see contact information, which is a small problem. So I don't see any email or anything like that. Okay. Well, all right. It's getting a little bit better because here we have the acknowledgements. Okay. But you can see nothing is lined up. Okay, this is what's called a dancing poster. Also the title, it's very hard to read. Okay, it's very small. It should be much, much larger. So you should be able to read the title from, standing 10 meters away, basically. Well, not 10 meters, maybe 5 meters away at least, but nevertheless, yeah, it should be very clear, what the topic is just from the title. Yeah, not bad. Okay, so here we're looking at a good one. Okay, it's very simple. This is the landscape. Okay, because we have 3 columns. Okay, we do have a conclusion this time. We do have an objective, which I'd asked for earlier, and we do have acknowledgement, and we have the references. Okay, so we have all the websites and so on. Remember, if you're taking something from the internet, okay, any type of image, whether it's a graph or a photograph, you have to write the source. Okay, so you have to actually put it either right underneath it or in a separate section, that website. Okay, not a very good poster. And I think you can see why. Okay, you have just too much text. And I can't read it. It's so small. It's impossible to read. Okay, right from the beginning, I'm just not interested in whatever's there. Okay, this is a great topic, but again, the title is too small. Okay. The picture of the university, that's debatable. Some people like to put a photo of their laboratory, that's fine, or a photograph of the faculty or the institute that they work at, but it's not always necessary, okay? Yeah, okay. It looks like Star Wars, right? Hviezdne Valky, Hviezdne Vojny. The problem with this poster is, it's interesting. Yeah, I would stop, but I wouldn't stay for very long, okay? The reason, well, there's a lot of text. Again, there's some things that are kind of missing in it. So it's eye-catching, but it's not 100% professional, okay? It's something more for a high school, sredna škola, not for university. Okay, this one is really good, okay? The reason I like it is it's got pretty much everything here, okay? This is from Poland, okay? So you can find out even more information on the website. It's got the logo of the school. But I like how the sections go around in a circle, okay? So when you have the caret here, okay, you have here the benefits, you have features, you have output, clustering, stemming. Okay, here, in fact, we have experiments, so that's your method, okay? It even includes lingo, okay? So vocabulary that's appropriate for the subject. Okay, also remember that if you have an image, you need to have a scale bar, okay? So not just, when you're talking about nanotechnology, nanometers or anything like that, okay? But if you have geography, okay, kilometers, meters, to show how big something is. Okay, earlier I talked about, your contact information. So you can also make a mini poster, okay, and you can give it to people. If they want more information, just give it like a leaflet, like a leták, okay? Everything is there, okay? Your contact information is there, is also there. Remember, a student conference is a great way to meet other people in the field, okay? Other researchers, other professors. It's also a good possibility to find a job. Yeah, okay, people come and say, this is amazing. We're looking for somebody to join our team, to join our department. Okay, it could be other universities, it could be private laboratories, private companies, whatever, okay? If you give them this, it's like giving your vizitka, also your životopis. They will remember what you have, the work or the research that you are currently working on or that you have completed. Okay, always, yeah, like I said, the acknowledgements are so important. So that includes funding, people that helped you, colors, and so on. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at this for a moment. I'm just going to move on to the second not presentation, but PowerPoint slide, I guess I want to show you, is by Jan Svetlik. One moment here. Okay, so last semester, actually in my oral communication course, not in the writing course, although Jan was in both courses, he revealed that he is an expert at making posters. He has a number of years of graphic design and experience going or presenting at conferences. So he basically went ahead and made this poster presentation. I'll just go through it very quickly here. So the first thing that he said is that, what matters the most is that you like the poster, okay? Remember, if you like it, then great, everything is fine, because the world would be a boring place if everything were the same and designed in the same pattern, okay? So yeah, he says here that I myself very often break the graphic rules and I enjoy it. Okay, so I've shown you some of the rules, but time to time you need to break the rules, bend the rules. Okay, let's have a look here. Okay, Jan's poster that he submitted was amazing. You can see it right here. Okay, so he said use the whole area for your presentation. Remember, you have to find out what the size of the panel board is. Okay, so you want the poster to go through the whole panel, not just a corner of it. And of course, you don't want it to go over the panel. That will look really, really awkward. So the use of borders, okay, resolution, okay, it's different between what you actually print, okay, and what you see on the internet. All right, then let's have a look here. Here's some recommendations. So he recommends just put everything on the white panel, okay? It's what's called a layout, okay? The poloha, okay? The pologenye. Put everything down, okay? Be careful about resolution, okay? All right, because you have the pixels, which can be big. You want, sharper ones and so on. First, put everything there, and then you're going to arrange everything and put it into place. Okay, so once you've got that done, he says here, keep in mind that people have a comfort zone when they read. Okay, people don't like reading down here, but their vision, zrak, will focus just on the top 80% up here. So this is where you want your text to be. I'm just going to move this a little bit closer. There we go. Okay, then. So your poster also needs to breathe. Okay. All right. So you'll think about all the space around you. Okay. Not everything needs to be aligned. Okay. Here's the logo. It's going outside the border, and here it is inside the border. Everything here is aligned, it looks good and everything like that, okay? But remember, okay, if you have the Tower of Pisa, okay, so it has to, it's always leaning, okay? Look at it here. Now it's straight, but we know it's not like that. So you have to keep in mind about, play with it, the alignment. Okay. So then you want to pamper it, okay? It needs some love, okay? Davat lasku, pozornost, okay? So you have to, it says here, let free your imagination. This is where you want to be creative, okay? Pridat korenje, spice, abi ten poster viseral stiplavi, okay? So you're going to put the pozadje, okay, the background color, okay, choose one that's appropriate, okay, that's vhodny, okay, suitable shade, okay, but always remember, v prvom mieste is readability, okay. If it's čitatelné, it has to be, it has to be legible, čitatelné. Here are some errors that many people make, okay. These are some of the mistakes. You can have unnecessary pictures, okay? Be very careful on what you choose, okay? What could be good and what might not be, okay? So here we have some photos, okay? These ones are the same. These ones are the same, but this one here is a little bit different from this one here, okay? So maybe it's not quite the one he wanted. So what he did was he put it down here. Okay, he moved it around a bit then. Yeah, also, you know, you have to be careful about, you know, the background. Sometimes the background, well, it's not possible, okay? Because the background is only the background, posadie. So sometimes just leave it blank and just keep the pictures in the front, okay? It's always a good solution, but try another way. Something might be different, okay? The bird of the year, okay? For example. Have a look here then. You have to be careful about all kinds of things like contrast, okay? Anything that might kill your poster. But we went through a lot of that kind of stuff already. So you don't want to have like the red that kind of kills it. Okay, if I go back here, the black is just enough, okay? The red here is also hard to read. The blue is a little bit hard to read too. Okay, so I wouldn't go with different color for your text. Use black or white only for the text. Okay, and finally, the last thing, okay, is lining up the objects, okay? So you can kind of see they're not quite 100% lined up, okay? Even here, it goes off the poster, okay? So all that stuff, you know, needs to be kind of lined up, all right? It makes it look more professional and clear, okay? One character word, prepositions, okay? Conjunctions, remember conjunctions that we talked about, okay? Our spoiki, do not leave them at the end of the line, okay? Especially in a title, okay? All right, so these are some things that you can also think about when you do your poster. Okay, thank you very much for watching the presentation, guys. So as I said at the beginning of today's lecture, how about the deadline, May 15th? We have a long weekend this weekend. We have a second long weekend. I love Slovakia. So many sviatki. Yeah, it's a great place to live. Okay. So anyways, there is a lot of time, of course. There's 2 weeks, okay? Try not to leave it right to the end. Your poster can, you know, think of a topic. Think of the abstract that you submitted to me, and you can use that to, you know, to make the poster. So even if you're not going to the conference, it doesn't matter, okay? Think of something. It can be original. It doesn't have to be the abstract, of course, but an abstract that you submitted to me would be, you know, would really help you along. Okay, if you have any questions about anything, of course, always feel free to ask me. Send me an email anytime. I love communicating with you guys, and I'll leave it at that. Okay, take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next week then. Bye bye.